All right, here we are, still under construction, but making some really good progress. About a week and a half ago, maybe, I finished the path that branches off to the left there. These are sandstone blocks. The smaller pieces are easy, but some of the bigger ones are 50 to 100, maybe 110 pounds, some of these sandstone blocks. And the ones that I moved last summer, some of these are 600 to 1,000 pounds. So obviously I couldn't lift them by hand. I had to use a 6-foot spud bar to get under them and pry them around and move them using the spud bar. But the pathway turned out okay. I still need to level a few of these sandstone blocks and fill in with dirt around the edges and stuff, but so the path branches off over there. We're under construction. We're building the deck portion right now. I just poured the very last concrete footer. The 2x6 by 12 foot lumber timbers here. These are the joists that go under the decking like that, and the joists themselves are going to be attached, probably bolted to these brackets that are embedded in the concrete. That's to support the joists. I couldn't do a support beam. Usually you put beams underneath the joists, but the water level, when it reaches flood stage, the water level comes up to the bottom of the concrete pad. So that means that the bottom of the joists are going to be underwater during flood stages. So I didn't want all the wood to be underwater and going through freeze and thaw cycles. So it's perfectly acceptable to put joists right on the concrete footers. And the way I'm attaching the decking boards is with hidden fasteners that gaps them, I'd say, between a quarter of an inch probably apart to maybe 3/8 of an inch apart. So they're 6 feet long, and they will span 12 feet actually. There's going to be 6 inches hanging out on either side over the edge of the concrete pad. And then there's going to be a 4x4 post right here, and the final joist will be attached to the post here. There's going to be a huge 6x6 post, 12 foot tall, but 4 feet is going to be underground, embedded in 800 to 1,000 pounds of concrete each 6x6. So 4 feet underground and about 8 feet above ground. And then the joist will be attached to 2 of those 6x6s, and then all the way down at the other end over here will be another 4x4 post to attach the end of that joist. So there's going to be a joist running here along these concrete footers, and then the final joist will be attached to the 4 posts, 2 4x4s and 2 6x6s. Then in between these 2 massive 6x6 12-foot posts, that's going to start the dock, and the dock is going to extend 6 feet out from there. There will be 2 posts out in the water. They are 6x6 but only 8 feet tall. So 1 post probably about there, 1 post probably about there, and then we will build the dock and attach it to the 4 of the 6x6 posts. But it's coming along really well. The concrete footers were brutal to pour because I'm using a wheelbarrow and doing it by hand, and it's just really labor intensive and hard on the back. But here's the final footer that I just poured. The holes are 3.5 feet down. I put a base of gravel at the bottom, maybe 4 inches of gravel at the bottom. So there's 3 feet of concrete here. I'm letting it cure a little bit before I adjust the tube. I'm going to pack clay and dirt around it and then tamp it down with the tamper. Pack all the dirt around the concrete tube, and then I will install the bracket. We've got these, they're called Simpson Strong Tie. They're galvanized steel brackets, so they're okay to be submerged underwater. A lot of the hardware we're using is going to be galvanized steel. A lot of the bolts, a lot of the screws, we're going to be using stainless steel nails for the deck and dock. And then for the big, huge, massive 6x6 posts, the two out in the water and then the massive anchoring 6x6s right here on the shore, we're going to run 10-inch long, half-inch thick or half-inch galvanized bolts through the 6x6s and bolt the 2x6 joists to the posts that way. But you can see what I do is I embed the steel bracket into the concrete here, so it goes into the concrete, and then I make sure it's perfectly level and in line with the previous ones so that the deck will end up being level. So there's the last. We've got 9 of these. We've got 3 rows of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 over there. We kind of overdid it. We have 13 to